Did you know that storing certain everyday foods in the refrigerator, foods that seem completely harmless, could actually be setting you up for serious health issues? We're not talking about processed junk here. We're talking about fresh, natural, whole foods. Foods you likely think you're preserving and protecting by chilling them. But in reality, storing some of these in the fridge can silently destroy their nutrients, promote the formation of harmful toxins, and even increase your long-term risk of developing chronic diseases like cancer, diabetes, and metabolic disorders. Let's take a closer look. Have you ever tossed raw potatoes into the fridge thinking it would keep them fresh longer? Or maybe placed an overripe tomato in the crisper drawer? Or tucked a loaf of bread in there to extend its shelf life? These habits may seem harmless, even smart, but science says otherwise. In this video, I'll walk you through the surprising effects of refrigeration on these common foods and give you practical tips to protect their health benefits and yours. This is the Global Health Guide. Make sure you like and subscribe so you never miss out on life-changing insights for your well-being. And tell us in the comments, where are you watching from? We love hearing from viewers around the world. Let's get right into it. Mistake number 1. Storing raw potatoes in the refrigerator. It seems logical. Cold preserves, right? But when it comes to raw potatoes, refrigeration actually has the opposite effect. The cold environment causes the starches in the potato to convert more rapidly into simple sugars. While this may sound harmless, there's a serious downside. When these sugar-rich potatoes are cooked at high temperatures, especially frying or baking, they undergo the Maillard reaction, where sugars react with the amino acid asparagine, forming acrylamide. Acrylamide is a known neurotoxin and a probable human carcinogen according to the International Agency for Research on Cancer, IARC. Numerous studies, including research published in the Journal of Agricultural and Food Chemistry, have linked high acrylamide intake to increased risks of cancers such as ovarian, endometrial, esophageal, and kidney cancers. Even if your potatoes don't look burnt, if they've been refrigerated before cooking, the acrylamide levels can still be dangerously elevated, without you even realizing it. Worse still, the humid fridge environment encourages mold and microbial growth, making potatoes more prone to spoilage, texture changes, and nutrient loss. Store potatoes in a cool, but not cold, dry, dark, and well-ventilated space, like a pantry or kitchen cabinet. Use a basket or cloth bag to allow airflow. Never store in sealed plastic. For optimal health benefits, cook them at lower temperatures, below 180 degrees Celsius, 356 degrees Fahrenheit, and leave the skin on, which helps slow the digestion of starch and supports blood sugar regulation. Mistake number 2. Keeping tomatoes in the refrigerator. Tomatoes are another staple that most people wrongly store in the fridge. But here's the truth. Cold temperatures interrupt the natural ripening process, which is critical for the development of lycopene, one of the most powerful antioxidants found in plant foods. Lycopene is responsible for the tomato's vibrant red color, and more importantly, for a host of health benefits. It has been shown in multiple studies, including the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, to protect against cardiovascular disease, cellular aging, oxidative stress, and even prostate and breast cancers. When refrigerated, the internal structure of the tomato deteriorates. Cell membranes are damaged, resulting in a mealy, watery texture and a muted off flavor. Plus, refrigeration halts the increase in lycopene concentration that normally happens as the tomato ripens at room temperature. Keep tomatoes at room temperature, away from direct sunlight, in an open basket where they can breathe. To accelerate ripening, place them next to ethylene-producing fruits like bananas or apples. Avoid consuming tomatoes that have large green patches or are fully unripe, as they may contain solanine, a natural glycoalkaloid that can be toxic in large quantities. Mistake number 3. Storing bread in the fridge. Many people think refrigerating bread is the best way to stop mold growth. Ironically, this practice can actually backfire. Cold temperatures rapidly degrade bread's internal starch structure in a process called retrogradation, which leads to hard, stale, and dry bread. Moreover, while your fridge may feel dry, it's actually a humid environment due to condensation cycles. This humidity can promote mold, especially in homemade or preservative-free breads, which have shorter shelf lives. Worse, refrigerating whole grain or sourdough bread may cause you to miss out on one of its key benefits, natural fermentation, and resistant starch formation. Resistant starch is a type of carbohydrate that resists digestion and functions more like a fiber, improving insulin sensitivity, promoting fullness, and feeding beneficial gut bacteria. If you plan to eat your bread within 1 to 2 days, store it in a cloth bag or a bread box at room temperature. For longer storage, slice and freeze it. Frozen bread, when toasted or warmed, forms even more resistant starch, turning it into a superfood for your gut. Have you ever stored any of these 3 foods in your refrigerator without realizing the risks? Have you ever heard of acrylamide before today? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences. By becoming more intentional with how we store our food, we can unlock far more of its nutritional potential and avoid unknowingly increasing our risk of chronic diseases. Stick around, because up next we'll cover even more common foods that may be sabotaging your health just because of where you keep them. Let's dive into more foods that are often stored incorrectly and how these simple mistakes could be reducing their nutritional value, harming their texture, and even risking your health. Mistake number 4, refrigerating unripe avocados. Have you ever placed a hard, green avocado in the fridge thinking it would stay fresh longer? If so, you're not alone. But this habit can ruin one of the world's most nutrient-rich fruits. Avocados are particularly sensitive to cold, especially when unripe. The key enzymes responsible for ripening, such as polygalacturonase and pectin methylesterase, become less active at low temperatures. This disruption leads to a fruit that fails to ripen properly, often resulting in a rubbery or gritty texture, bitter or bland taste, brown or grayish internal discoloration, decreased levels of monounsaturated fats and antioxidants like lutein and vitamin E. Studies, including those published in Post-Harvest Biology and Technology, have shown that cold storage of unripe avocados results in diminished bioactive compounds and poor sensory quality. Always allow avocados to ripen at room temperature. Want to speed things up? Place the avocado in a paper bag with a banana or apple. These fruits emit ethylene gas, which accelerates the natural ripening process. Once the avocado is ripe, soft to the touch, you can refrigerate it, but only for a maximum of 1 to 2 days to prevent degradation. If it's been cut, sprinkle a few drops of lemon or lime juice on the exposed flesh and store it in an airtight container. The citric acid helps reduce enzymatic browning and preserves both the appearance and taste. For long-term use, avocados can be mashed or sliced and frozen. Perfect for smoothies, guacamole, or spreads. Frozen avocado retains most of its nutrients for up to 6 months. Mistake number 5, putting bananas in the fridge. Next up, bananas. Many people put them in the fridge as soon as they get home, but this is a common mistake. Bananas are tropical fruits and not designed to handle cold environments. Their peels contain enzymes and pigments that become unstable at low temperatures, leading to blackened skins even when the inside remains firm. But the problem goes deeper than appearances. Cold temperatures also disrupt the banana's internal starch-to-sugar conversion, leading to a mealy, dry texture, altered, less sweet taste, reduced availability of potassium, magnesium, and vitamin B6. Also, the riper a banana gets, the higher its glycemic index, GI. This means it releases glucose into the bloodstream more quickly, potentially causing spikes in blood sugar and insulin. Over time, frequent spikes like these can contribute to insulin resistance, weight gain, increased risk of type 2 diabetes, increased inflammation, and oxidative stress. Store bananas at room temperature, away from direct sunlight. To slow down ripening, wrap the stems in foil or plastic wrap. This reduces ethylene gas release at the source, extending the life of your bananas. If your bananas become overripe, don't toss them. Peel, slice, and freeze them for smoothies, oatmeal, pancakes, or healthy baking recipes. Frozen bananas also develop resistant starch, a type of dietary fiber that supports gut health, improves digestion, and helps regulate blood sugar. Mistake number 6, refrigerating or improperly storing garlic. Garlic is widely known for its medicinal properties, including anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, antiviral, and anti-cancer effects, thanks primarily to a sulfur-containing compound called allicin. But improper storage, especially refrigeration, can significantly diminish these health benefits. When garlic is refrigerated, especially peeled or chopped, It often starts to sprout. You've probably seen those green shoots emerge from the cloves. While not necessarily toxic, this is a sign that the garlic's chemical profile has changed. Allicin concentration decreases, and the cloves become bitter and rubbery. Even more dangerous, storing chopped garlic in oil at room temperature creates an anaerobic environment, ideal for the growth of Clostridium botulinum, the bacterium responsible for botulism. This rare but serious illness affects the nervous system and can cause muscle paralysis, breathing difficulty, death in extreme cases. According to the CDC and FDA, garlic in oil mixtures must be refrigerated and used within 1 week, or ideally frozen to avoid this risk. Store whole garlic bulbs with their skins intact in a cool, dry, and ventilated area, away from direct light and moisture. A hanging mesh bag or basket in the pantry works well. If you prefer the convenience of pre-chopped garlic, go the freezer route. Mince garlic, portion it into ice cube trays or small containers, and freeze. This method retains flavor and many of the beneficial compounds, without risking spoilage or bacterial growth. Now we've come to the final item on this list, and it's probably the most unexpected one. Mistake number 7. Honey. For generations, honey has enjoyed a golden reputation as a healthier, more natural alternative to sugar. And that's not entirely wrong. Real, raw honey contains a range of bioactive compounds like polyphenol, enzymes, antioxidants, and antimicrobial agents that give it medicinal value. But here's the part many people miss. If you store it the wrong way, you can strip away those benefits, or worse, create new health risks. One of the most common storage mistakes is putting honey in the refrigerator. Many believe this helps preserve it longer. But in reality, cold temperatures cause crystallization, a natural process where the glucose in honey separates from water, forming solid crystals. This gives the honey a grainy, opaque texture and makes it thick, sticky, and harder to scoop or spread. Now, here's where things get risky. Many people, seeing the crystallized honey, assume it has spoiled, and in an attempt to fix it, they place it in the microwave or heat it directly on the stove. This is a mistake. Once honey is heated above 40 degrees Celsius, 104 degrees Fahrenheit, it begins to lose its active enzymes and antioxidants, the very compounds that make it beneficial in the first place. Worse still, high heat can produce hydroxymethylfurl, HMF, a compound that forms when fructose in honey breaks down, linked to toxicity in high amounts. So, what's the right way to store honey? Keep it at room temperature, ideally in a tightly sealed glass jar, away from direct sunlight, heat, and moisture. In this stable environment, honey can last indefinitely without spoiling, while preserving its flavor, aroma, and health-enhancing properties. But here's something even more important. Just because honey is natural doesn't mean it's harmless. Honey is still sugar-heavy, made up mostly of glucose and fructose. This means that overconsumption can cause the same metabolic issues as refined sugar: spikes in blood sugar and insulin, fatty liver development, increased triglycerides, and a higher risk of chronic inflammation and metabolic disease. Excessive intake, especially for people with insulin resistance, prediabetes, or diabetes, can do more harm than good. So how should you consume honey? Think of it like a natural medicine, not an everyday sweetener. A teaspoon once or twice daily can support recovery from colds, sore throats, or fatigue due to its antimicrobial and energizing properties. But using it freely in tea, baking, spreads, or desserts as a healthy sugar could have the opposite effect of what you're hoping for. Let's recap the 7 foods you should never store in the fridge. 1. Raw potatoes. Cold turns their starch into sugar, increasing levels of acrylamide, a potential carcinogen when fried or roasted. 2. Tomatoes. Cold breaks down cell walls, making them mealy and flavorless, while also depleting lycopene, a potent antioxidant. 3. Bread. Refrigeration speeds up starch retrogradation, causing dryness and encouraging mold growth once exposed to moisture. 4. Avocados. If stored unripe in the fridge, their ripening process halts, and they may lose nutritional value like healthy fats and fiber. 5. Bananas. Cold damages their peel and alters enzyme activity, making them blackened, mushy, and higher on the glycemic index. 6. Garlic. Refrigerated garlic can sprout and lose allicin, its main medicinal compound. Improper storage can even promote botulism spores. 7. Honey. Cold causes crystallization, and reheating can destroy enzymes, antioxidants, and even create toxic compounds like HMF. If you've been making any of these mistakes, don't worry. You're not alone. Most people store these foods in the fridge thinking it's healthier or safer. But now, with this knowledge, you can make smarter choices that protect both your food and your health. Let me know in the comments. Which of these food storage habits were you doing without realizing the harm? Did any of these surprise you? If this content helped you avoid some common health pitfalls, please like the video, share it with a loved one, and subscribe to the Healthy Life channel. Your health journey deserves every small advantage. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.